Well, hello and welcome back, ladies, to Women of Wisdom Wednesday. Now, I know I have been absent for some time, a few weeks. I had been having some things done to the house and also planning my oldest son's 50th birthday. So everything got downsized a little bit in terms of my weekly videos, etc. But anyway, having said all that, things should start to get back to normal. And so what I thought to come back to normal was to do perhaps another experiment with some hair wrapping, and as part of Women of Wisdom. And thank you so much, ladies, for the ideas, and I love the emails I get and try very hard to answer them promptly. But of course, one of the main things I've had is for some more talks about head wrapping. So I thought I'd just make it a bit of a fun thing today and get you experimenting and your creative juices moving. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to do the old basic foundation wrap, which is this is a rectangle cottony sort of almost a muslin type of open weave fabric I've got here. Very cool for summer. It's a long rectangle and I've folded a little bit under. Now, just before I do that, I want to just draw your attention to some of the helpful tools we have. Now here you'll see I've got a headband, a blondie sort of headband. You can get them in various colors. This is what they look like. They're velvet, non-slip. One side is rough and grippy and the other one is smooth. You will know by the feel of them. And they have a Velcro here, this particular brand. I don't know what brand they are now, to be honest. But look, I tell you what, if you go on Amazon under headbands or non-slip headbands, they're called, these and other types will come up. And that's what they do. They grip on your hair, and then the scarf, that's rough going that way. The scarf then grips on that. It just stops it slipping sideways and backwards. And then it has an adjustable thing on it. There are various types around, but I can tell you these are available on Amazon, non-slip headbands. Look, I can't remember. You get a pack of 3 or 4, I think, of varying black, white, blondie, taupe, or I think you can buy them separate. But anyway, I've covered that in a previous video. So that's pretty much an essential to stop that slipping back all the time, regardless of the style of head wrap or hair wrap you use. This is probably your most important foundation garment, ladies, to keep everything in place. Then I've had another request about the scrunchies things I use. Look, I make mine a normal regular scrunchie, unless it was made of this velvety sort of fabric. And again, I made these, but you may be able to buy them like this in a shop. And I made mine a bit varying. Some of them are narrow, but lots and lots of gathers in them. And you could use that also to scrunch up and make it look like you've got hair, if you've got short hair or no hair. You could use that as fake padding. This one too is just different. It's black and it's wider, but it hasn't got as much length to it. Just experiment, ladies, with what you've got. If you're a sewer, it's just a tube of fabric folded over, and just the longer the tube is before you put the elastic in, the more scrunch and the more volume there'll be, and the width also has an effect. I've got a very wide, long one on today, and then you can get, did I show that one? I'm not sure if I showed that one. Yeah, that little one's narrow but got heaps. Yep. And then this one is just a sort of an in-between. I made mine, but you could make your own, or get a friend, because it all helps to keep everything in place. Now, so I have hair, so I don't need a volumizer or anything. So let's get to this. So now I'm just going to put this scarf on. I fold over a little bit. Some, depending on the width of the scarf, how much you'll fold over and how much how much bulk or whatever you want at the back. But anyway, let's get into this now. So this is just a plain gauzy sort of muslin cottony scarf, and again, ladies, I have to use the camera for my mirror, and I know sometimes when I look back on them, mine aren't absolutely perfect, but that as long as you get the idea. So now I pull all this back to the back of the head, gather it together. Now you cannot, I prefer to just cross over like that. Come around, both my sides are almost even. It doesn't matter if it's not. Now, the two shorter bits that end up over here in the front are those original two bits, that continuation of the bit I folded over here. So you often end up with one side a little bit longer than the other. I have covered this foundation wrap before, so I won't waste too much time. So let's just get this on. This is just the foundation. So we bring that bit over. Might just... You could just fold it sort of in 3, whatever. Some people fold them in 4 or whatever. Again, I would suggest very... wise thing to do is always, if you're starting out doing this, is just get in front of your mirror where the light is, and then just start experimenting. Now, because I don't have the benefit of standing in front of my mirror, might have a little bit of wiggly pieces. So now you've got this. What do I do with it? Well, you've got a pocket you've already made, so you will slip that in there, tuck it in. Now, a lot of people think, oh, that won't stay. Listen, it will stay, but if you're frightened it won't, then go ahead and stick a little hijab pin, or some women even use a tiny little gold safety pin to just hold it in. I don't care to do that. Mine just stays okay. So here we go now, the next bit, the foundation wrap, and we bring that over. Again, the vision through the camera lens isn't 100%, so if I've got a few wiggly bits hanging out, ladies, you'll have to cut me some slack for that. So now we're coming around again with this piece, and there's the pocket there, and we just slide that tail into that pocket, and you can nearly do them without a mirror when you get very good at that. So that is basically the old foundation wrap we always talk about, or your basic wrap, your foundation stone for what you're going to do next. Now, this is a scarf that is I think it's pure silk. It was a gift for me, and the colour is just, isn't it just adorable? And of course, it's got elephants on it. I think you might be able to, it's reversible, but there's little elephants you can see prancing across it. And it is certainly not a scarf you can use for a foundation, but the colour is so just gorgeous. And it kind of brightens up this top. I thought it was a good way to use it. Now, what I have done to start with, it's a long rectangle. In previous ones, I've showed you how to fold it in four, the edges in the center, and then you can twist it and you get this variation here. So that's what I've done. Now, just to hold the twist in place here, I've put a hair clip on it. But what I did when I got to the end, and I'm going to show you this now before we do it, is before we go on and tie this, is when I got towards about that far, look, I don't know, depends on how much tail you want, but I got to about there, oh gosh, I don't know, almost to my elbow, from my thumb to my elbow, I suppose. And again, it'll depend on your head size and how thick the scarf is. This is sort of thin silk. And now I'm just going to go, see how I've got 3 fingers out there? I'm just going to go around that twice and then pull that tail through like that, about that much, not too much. But now I'm pulling it sort of tight, but now I'm going to tease it out a bit. And all you got to do is find a little edge here and just start fanning it out, because what you want now is sort of like a little rose effect to develop. So although you squished it out tight, now you're sort of teasing it out. You've still got the end here. And see how the bow's getting all sort of scrunchy and twisted and got like convoluted edges and colours coming forward and the light catching it. See that? See how? So now I'm going to put this scarf now around here like this, and I will come back to it and give it a bit more scrunch when I get it on, or I might even expand it more. So I'm going to bring the scarf round and just, because it's silky, the twist is a little bit hard to get in place. So I might just come around that way, come back round, and now I have got, stick that in there. Now you could put a pin in there because it is a slippery scarf. That is something that people like to do when they've got a slippery scarf. Or you could, I'm not sure if this, I've got a little butterfly clip here, which may, no, I don't think it'll be big enough. So what I might do is, this is a hair clip. Again, you can buy them in the stores, you know, where your daughters and granddaughters buy their hair clips, and they are great. Again, I can't see really. I'm trying to grip that there. Some of it will grip into that muslin scarf and hold it nice and strong and safe. And this tail bit can fan out. And now that you've got that on, again, bear in mind, this is easier when you're in front of it, full of, you know, good light and a mirror. But it should be tucked in and to your liking there. You can adjust that, tighten it or loosen it. Because we're using a silk scarf here, you all know how uncontrollable silk is. It'll run away on you if you take your hand off it. But you've got to learn to pull it into place and control it and make it do what you want. Now, that can mean you have to pin it down a little bit even at times with a hijab pin. I'm trying not to use one today, but you've got it secured now with this knot. You've got that clip there holding it. Again, you could put a little pin in there, a hijab pin. Because it's silk, you will feel a bit insecure with it. But ladies, speaking from my own experience, once you've practiced it a couple of times, you could even do 3 knots and try and experiment. I'm happy with that. That knot won't come undone there. Again, I can't tell how secure I've got this here, but I'm assuming it's not too bad. I can pull it out and try again and just tuck it under. And there we go. Again, in front of a mirror, you'll be much, much more confident than I am. And then I would be inclined to stick a little pin in there. I don't think I've got one here now. So that is... Now, you can pull that rose in another direction too. You could push it down. Again, you could put a little invisible pin there, tighten it, spread it out. And I have no idea how good the back looks at the moment because I'm harping on the fact that I don't have a mirror. But even these bits, you could have brought that up and clipped that in there at the back if you wanted to, that little tail, just to give it a bit more control if you wanted to. Bit more effect at the back. Now, I have no idea what the back looks like, girls, so I'm going to turn around and rely on you to let me know. So, I feel there's a little bit of looseness there somewhere, which if I was in my own mirror, I'd be able to rewrap that or secure it. So these are things I know I often hang off and put off using these, and I have got some beautiful silk scarves. They're not, I'd never go to them for the foundation wrap, although some women do, but you can wrangle them and control them usually by twisting and tying some knots in them and then fanning them out, getting them, and sometimes you might even have to wrap a couple of times to get that just how you want it, yes. But this keeps, I should have had a pin here for that. But it is doable, and you go and experiment and get those. Here we go again. I might just put that up the front there. To hold that. Could do it that way. It's probably got the fringe sticking out now, but that's okay. Yes, so just experiment, and I know people shy off the silk scarves. You can see why. But once you've got them, have a little practice and in front of the mirror, you would be surprised how you can do these. Now, I will try and do some more in the future because I know a lot of you would have a lot of square silk scarves, and they're very easy to get that gorgeous floppy rose effect or something on the side, or just knot them and do creative things with them. So I'll come back and do a few more of those another day. But in the meantime, ladies, thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate my subscribers and your comments and the emails I get. If I make errors, please forgive me because I really can't. I know light's coming in towards me, but when I look into the camera, I sort of have a little bit of a dull image that's not conducive to using as a mirror. But never mind. Whatever the reason you feel you would like to wrap your hair or cover your head, please do, ladies. Be happy about it. It's part of the beauty of being a woman. In the meantime, please take care and God bless.